The Galaxy S23 Ultra is Samsung's latest phone to bear the name Ultra. As such, it has a spec sheet that can make even the most casual tech fans mouthwater. Even so, that doesn't mean you should forget about the Galaxy S22 Ultra just because it's a year old. What new features does the Galaxy S23 Ultra bring compared to the previous S22 Ultra model, and are they significant enough to upgrade? As one of the best Samsung phones, it's an exceptional device that will likely see significant discounts now that the replacement has arrived. Not sure which Ultra to buy? Let's break down the differences between them. The Galaxy S23 Ultra looks so similar to its predecessor that we would absolutely forgive you if you cannot tell the two apart. There are some giveaways, but they are subtle and you need to look close. The biggest one has got to be the sides of the phone, which are now flatter on the new model and kind of mimic the look of recent iPhones, but they are not completely flat and you still have some curve at the edge for ergonomics. The mid-frame is also slightly thicker than before, and this design makes it a bit easier to pick up the phone from a table. Unless you know what you're looking for, the S22 Ultra and S23 Ultra look almost identical. They both have frames made of armored aluminum, and the S22 Ultra uses Gorilla Glass Victus, while the S23 has Gorilla Glass Victus 2. You get a large 6.8-inch screen on both phones, and it has slightly wider dimensions than your typical smartphone, so you get even more screen real estate to work with. However, these are not the same display panels. The one big change is a switch to the latest and most advanced E6 OLED panel on the S23 Ultra, which has slightly better characteristics. Peak brightness, however, remains the same on both models at 1750 nits. The displays being the same isn't bad. It's a beautiful panel that's smooth, crisp, and bright. It's just a small change compared to previous years where each new generation of Galaxy S phones would bring a massive leap in display quality. Seems like we finally reached the point of diminishing returns. The big change in the S23 Ultra has got to be the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. Samsung equips all Galaxy S23 Ultra models, regardless of the market, with this chip, a change from the last few years when Samsung sold a more powerful Snapdragon version in the US, while the rest of the world got the lesser Exynos processor instead. So what is the difference between the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the S23 Ultra and Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on the S22 Ultra? Well, both are made on Phoron technology, and with the Gen 2 is manufactured at the TSMC foundry, while the previous chip was made at a Samsung foundry, and this alone seems to have a big role. You get improvements in power efficiency, AMD, and performance, and gaming particularly is much faster with this chip. As you can see in the benchmark results, the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip delivers a massive improvement in speeds. We measure a 40% faster single-core CPU performance and a whopping 50% in multi-core performance. We rarely get such massive improvements, so this really is a special chip. But the big gains actually come for gamers. GPU performance is now on par or even faster than the current champ, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Samsung also brings 4 years of major software updates and 5 years of security updates to all Galaxy S23 phones. This is a big improvement from many Android phones and even Google's own Pixel phones, which offer just 3 years of OS updates. The S23 Ultra launches with the new Samsung One UI 5.1 on top of Android 13, and the S22 Ultra model will also get that version via a software update. This new version is all about tweaks and smaller tweaks, so don't expect huge changes. A great camera is what makes or breaks a flagship, and so far, Samsung has had a unique camera system on the Ultra series with its impressive 10x zoom camera. The S23 Ultra takes that same system and polishes it. You still have 4 rear cameras, a main plus, ultra wide plus, 3x zoom plus 10x zoom, but the most used main camera gets a big upgrade with a new 200 megapixel sensor. The 200 megapixels sounds insane, but it's not just about the megapixels, so don't expect to go out shooting 200 megapixel photos all the time. Those files would be huge and actually not perfectly optimized. In fact, most people will still get 12 megapixel shots most of the time, which is the default mode. Samsung uses this new sensor to combine pixels, and with the S23 Ultra, it is combining 16 pixels into one super pixel, so you get these default 12 megapixel photos. Thanks to that pixel binning maneuver, Samsung is able to capture more light and deliver much cleaner night shots, so that's the main benefit. Photo enthusiasts also finally get the Expert RAW mode built right in the camera app. Expert RAW is multi-frame capture that is better than the standard Pro mode, and this year you can shoot 50 megapixel RAW files. This is a great size as images will not be giant in size like a 200 megapixel photo would, yet still have a lot more detail than your typical 12 megapixel shot. One other improvement you won't see on the spec sheet is faster shutter speeds. The S22 Ultra used to take a few extra moments for every shot, while the S23 Ultra is really snappy. Both the newer S23 Ultra and the S22 Ultra have the same 5000 mAh battery inside, but battery life has improved on the newer model. Still, don't expect 2 full days off the charger on either one of these phones. Both still require overnight charging, but the S23 Ultra is better. Still, we expect the improved efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 to result in slightly better battery life than the Snapdragon S22 Ultra and a significant improvement over Exynos models. At the end of the day, the Galaxy S23 Ultra improves the fundamentals but doesn't bring any startling changes to the Ultra series. Unless you are really keen about gaming or really plan on using the 50 megapixels expert raw capture and take a bunch of night photos, you don't see a huge reason to upgrade from an S22 Ultra. This new phone is a kind of an S version, a bump up in speeds and camera with a few other welcome little tweaks. But let us know what you think about the new Galaxy S23 Ultra. Are you excited about the upgrades, and is there a particular new feature you want to see Samsung improve in the future? Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more Galaxy updates. See you for the next time. Peace out.